In the Commons today, MPs called on the government to seek the explicit consent of Parliament before making any decision to arm rebel forces in Syria, as this programme reported last month. Among those fighting...
All in the hut. He's not going to get up.
Among the groups fighting for the rebel groups are a number of young British Muslims driven to take up jihad in a country that isn't theirs. There's increasing evidence that the number of Britons finding their way to Syria is growing. Police in Birmingham are investigating the disappearance of two young Muslims who have apparently left home to head for the Middle East. Our Home Affairs correspondent Darshna Soni has this exclusive report.
Please don't look for me, Mum. I have closed my bank account and my phone contract.
This week, Ali should have been celebrating his 21st birthday at home with family. Instead, it's feared the shy young man who had never even been abroad may have ended up in the world's most dangerous conflict zone.
My mum's crying every single day. A part of her is broken. She was very close with my brother.
We've spoken exclusively to Ali's family. We've changed their names because they don't want to be identified, fearing reprisals from their local community, but they agreed to tell us their story. Ali told his family he was going on a university trip to Turkey, but in his bedroom he had left a handwritten letter.
I want to help the people of Syria. I have gone to join the Al-Nusra party.
The security services believe that up to 200 young British men have gone off to join the rebels in Syria. But who are they and what motivates them? A number are from here in Birmingham. A Brummie born and bred, Ali was studying at university. Last year he bumped into an old school friend, Hassan. They appeared to have little in common. Hassan had never been to college and was struggling to find a job. But the two men became close and started spending lots of time together in internet cafes and in their garden shed. It's now believed they were accessing a number of videos online. This is a propaganda video filmed in Syria by Jabhat al-Nusra, an al-Qaeda affiliate operating in what's described as the new theatre of jihad. It's feared dozens of young men have been inspired and recruited to join their cause.
The internet's there and you see all these videos and there's a lot of propaganda and there's a lot of fuel to fuel these kids into thinking and believing things.
But did your brother ever talk about Syria or anything extreme or anything that made you worried?
No, I mean, like in the past we've had conversations about jihad and everything, and yeah, he wasn't that extreme that he wanted to go off and do something like that.
Last month, Channel 4 News broadcast exclusive footage of 21-year-old Londoner Ibrahim al-Mazwagi, the first Brit to die in Syria.
All in the hut. He's not going to get up.
We understand that the security services are known to be tracking 70 other British fighters, concerned about what will happen if they return home, ideologically motivated and trained to fight. Khalid Mahmood is the local MP. He says young men have always joined foreign fighters, such as in Libya, when hundreds went to topple Gaddafi. He warns that many in his constituency are frustrated by what they see as Western hypocrisy.
I think they're pointing out to the hypocrisy of what's going on as far as the government is concerned in aiding and supporting the rebels. They're saying the government can do that, why can't we? And that makes it easier for the recruiting sergeants here who are doing that and saying, look, this is all right, your government's doing this, everybody there is doing it.
Across Birmingham, we found a huge strength of feeling about the Syrian conflict. Thousands of pounds have been raised for aid convoys, and yet there's a feeling that the authorities have failed to engage with the Muslim community. In some areas here, unemployment is double the national average. Many, even third-generation immigrants, still struggle with a sense of identity.
He wanted a purpose, like, a sense of belonging, and I think that, that's what they gave him.
So you think he wasn't getting that from his ordinary day-to-day life of going to uni?
No, definitely not. There's nothing here where we live. There's not even like any kind of youth centres, no activities, nothing that he can participate or feel. And he didn't really have many friends as well. He was a quiet person.
So you think he was struggling to fit in?
Yeah, definitely.
Hassan's family told me a similar story. A young man who couldn't find employment and increasingly turned to religion. In 2011, he had watched as Birmingham came close to a race war. During the summer of riots, the city's different communities turned on one another.
If one of you walks away from here today and changes his ways.
The man credited with calming tensions was Tariq Jahan, despite his own son being killed in the disturbances. He has been to Syria with the charity Human Appeal, but fears too many disaffected young Muslims like Ali and Hassan want to go and fight in what they see as an idealised, romanticised conflict.
A lot of the young youth fantasise, you know, we'll go out, we'll fire some great weapons, we'll kill some of the enemy, and once it's all over, we'll have a big party and come back and get on with life. But the reality is completely different.
Mr. Jahan says he understands why many young men feel a religious obligation to help in Syria, but the challenge is to find a way for them to channel their passion in a more constructive way.
And it's trying to channel that in the right way with the youngsters and make them understand that, you know, it's not all about violence. I would say, you know, guys, don't get involved in this kind of stuff. It doesn't help. It doesn't help your families on the long term.
And it is the families of those who are left who are devastated. Ali and Hassan's parents say they're sick with worry and just want their boys to come home. It isn't illegal to travel to Syria, of course, and we don't know for sure where Ali or Hassan are or what they're doing. Only that both young men bought a one-way ticket to Istanbul.
We have so much hope and so much faith in his character that we believe that 100% that he's not doing anything bad.